Probably. Yeah, I don't know if they pick maps first or factions first or how that works, but
That's true. Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see. He's clearly got a plan. I just want to answer a quick couple of questions I've just seen. Tassos, the Soviet skin appears just like here. That is the two-tone. No, is it the two-tone blue something? I think it's called two-tone blue. You can get it on the store. It's a really nice skin in game. Cataphracts, yes, you can watch a recording of this stream. It's going to be on Relic's past broadcasts, and you could actually start watching it now if you wanted. It just kind of overlays. And I think GG is going to be uploading a lot of the games because he's recording it on his computer at the moment.
Yeah, I'll be uploading it to my
Anyway.
YouTube. I do it in chronological order though, so I go from start to finish. So if you want to watch the grand final, it won't be up on the channel for a while because I don't want to post the grand final of Devm versus Theodosios. So then when people see a game later on, they go, "Oh, well, I know who wins the tournament. Obviously, this game's going to be this winner." So by having the order from start to finish, it means that for people that don't watch the stream, which is I think a lot of people, then they can watch that and get the same viewer experience. But here we are, the grand final, game number 3. This is where it all ends. This is where it goes down.
And
Theodosios.
of course, we have Theodosios playing as USF from the east side of Kolodny Firma. Very popular map today, Kolodny Firma. We've seen that quite a lot of times. Devm choosing to play, well, we say choosing, you may have been even forced into it. More likely to be forced
Coerced.
into it. Yes. Playing Austin from the west side of Colony Firma. This is going to be an interesting one because we've seen USF be very strong here, and we've also seen them not be very strong here. So we were just debating why Theodosios has chosen to go USF when he's played such a strong game as Soviets previously to beat Devm. So it's a little bit of a risky game 3. It's something that we haven't seen. His tactics are going to be a little bit unpredictable as well, which is probably the benefit of picking a new faction. He's not going to be expected to mirror tactics that we saw in the last game.
It's impressive though.
Of course, Devm will be mirroring his tactics. He's going to go for the Grand Sniper build again.
When you see a player pull out 3 different factions in a grand final, Theodosios going Soviets, Wehrmacht, and now US. So it obviously shows his master of the game knowledge. Unlike Devm, who is an amazing US player and an amazing Wehrmacht player, but he just does not play the other factions. He has about 10 games for US and OKW, and I think about 50 for Soviets. So he's good at what he does, but someone like Theodosios obviously being a bit more confident in playing all of the other factions as well, which is definitely nice to see. So yeah, the sniper early on, he's a lot safer now. US cannot build M3s. They can build the military truck though, but of course not having access to that commander. Has airborne, which is interesting, rather than the rather than the heavy cavalry. No, sorry, the tactical support. Yeah.
Yeah, to be honest, a lot of people seem surprised recently when you mention airborne, but the airborne is still really good. Like, there's so much flexibility with airborne. You've always got either the MG or the AT gun, whichever way you tech. Paratroopers are still absolutely incredible, you know? Like, really, they are.
The problem with the drops, though, is they don't spawn with crew. So, yeah, you get access to the weapon, but you have to then reinforce it for, what, 80 manpower each. So it's a really expensive way of doing it. And I think airborne, it used to be the #1 meta commander back before heavy cavalry was released. And I think part of the reason why was also because captain cost 80 fuel. So going tier 2, tier 3 wasn't really an option. So you would go tier 2, you would call in the AT gun, and then you would tech up for a major. But now that the captain's cheaper, now that you don't have to actually go major, you just go tier 2, tier 3, get a call in Calliope, get a call in Pershing. It gives a lot more flexibility in terms of not having being able to swap your tiers and getting those support weapons. So I think that's one reason why. I do definitely like their paratroopers though. They're a fun unit. You have the 6-man squad with Thompsons. They're better than Rangers. And yeah, you get the LMGs on them. They can be quite powerful too.
You know, even being able to just reinforce on the field is a really, really nice one. If you can get that combination of Pathfinders with the respawn point. Sorry, just watching this squad in the church.
Ooh.
Held it for so long, didn't quite manage to get it either. So a real waste of manpower there, not to get the benefit of actually taking the church after all that. It's a great start for Devm. Has a very, very strong location. Just look at the aggression that's coming in right now. Sniper doing tons of work. 5 kills already, 4 minutes into the game. I think it's going to be a very, very strong sniper game at this point. And check it out, he's already hard pushing the strategic cutoff there. Absolutely amazing play from Devm with Oster.
The tag team riflemen didn't quite tag team. They were trying to hold the church for the other squad to jump in, but given how low the squad was and the sniper almost getting that next shot off, Theodosios panicked, he evac the house, and then the Pyres got there in time, so that was a bit of a swing there. And now Devm, of course, has the cutoff of Theodosios, bringing the aggressive Axis pain onto Theodosios' US, who has the captain now, he has the mortar, and there's no MG for Devm. So he's playing this very aggressive Vermac playstyle that we just never see, and it's really fun to watch.
Yeah, it kind of goes to show, actually, the ways of utilizing Austere that can be aggressive, because they are considered as a faction that requires on a lot of support weapons and good positioning, but Devm really brings out a really nice side to the Austere. I think part of what led that situation to happen at the start is kind of Theodosios was spreading out to map cap so much, and Devm actually did a little bit of capping, got all of his units together and made a strong push, and there was just nothing really there that Theodosios was able to bring to the fight that was going to sway it in his direction. That being said, Theodosios is still keeping a lot of stuff alive. He's still making a pretty good mashup of things.
The Thompson was dropped. I don't know why the Grins are disengaging from this. There's no Thompson on the squad. He can win that easily. The only threat of that engagement is the Thompson. So it's actually a bit of an RNG fight, because if the Thompson stays alive, you pretty much just lose. But then if you kill the Thompson really early on, which actually seems to happen pretty often, because I think the bazookas have priority. So there's a 1 in 3 chance, I believe, of the Thompson going down. And whoa! Incendiary gets the wipe on the captain,
and
drops the
and
bazooka.
Destroys a house. Well, a master sniper just took down a house with his bullet. Not only did it travel through the house, wiping all the building support and causing it to collapse, it also headshotted the captain. That is epic sniper skills.
Yeah, that was nuts. And in case you're not aware, the incendiary shot has 100% retreat accuracy, which is allows a sniper to have such squad wipe potential, which it's crazy to see a Vet 1 sniper 6 minutes into the game. How did that even happen?
Yeah, I mean, that is the kind of thing that you want to be doing with the sniper. Getting it onto kind of double kills for what you're on per minute is a sign of really good, really forward sniper use. And you don't normally see that until about, maybe 15, 20 minutes, and it's on like 30 kills. This, at the moment, is the sign of a very, very strong sniper game. It's going to be very difficult for Theodosios to get into his mid-game from this.
Rebuilding the captain, so he is afraid of the 222 for good reason, as it is being built by Devm. Map control pretty decent here for Theodosios, despite losing that squad. And we have Pigrens now, so Devm favouring the Pigrens. He loves having that squad. Needs medics though pretty badly. He can't afford the med bunker, both the munitions and the manpower. Having the Grins in base should definitely be building that one, which he is.
Theodosios desperately trying to claw back bits of the map, especially the VPs. If he can just hold on to VPs for a while and just try to stabilize his control points, then maybe he'll be able to find his way up. He's now getting the Stuart out in the field, which might start to even things out a little bit, but of course, one of the Grenadiers already has the bazooka, so it's going to be a difficult unit to use against what everything Devm has in the field right now.
Both of those rifle squads don't have Vet 1, but they're so close. So I love how Devm isn't going aggressive with these 2-2-2. You always want to click on the rifle squad and see how close are they to Vet 1. If they're very far away, then you can go aggressive. Try and get up close, have that the better accuracy, or rather the less scatter, I think in the case of 2-2-2. But he kept his distance and was able to force them off without taking any AT grenade damage, which would have been quite devastating given the 2-2-2 arriving. See right now, pops the Vet 1 during the fight. 2-2-2 gets cornered. Nade will connect here, and the Stuart moving up very shortly. There's no pack here just yet for Devm. The Shreks are an option, but it won't be there in time to save this scout car. So it's aggressive play by Devm, but meanwhile Theodosios is actually capping the entire map off of Devm, so he doesn't have much territory to his name. The Pigrens could get wiped by the Stewart. The sniper's out of position as well. He's going to be cloaked though, so he won't be hunted down by the Stewart, who's actually not going after the scout car either, looking for the last hit on the Pigrens, won't get it, and the bazooka is going to be opening up on the Stewart. It's working out in his favor.
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice timing for the Stewart there. Catches Devm a little bit off guard, but I don't think there's anything Devm can't deal with right now. You're talking about the territory capping, but I do think Devm actually still has it very, very under control at this point.
You can lose this one.
That is a...
Too aggressive, Devm. 2-2 moving up, loses the Gren squad though. He can't trade like this, could pop the stun target as well. Rifleman, yeah, a little bit far off, chasing after the sniper. Probably going to see the scout car go down. Main gun destroyed here, pops the smoke. He locked in Panzer Tactician, almost has access to the Puma, just needs more manpower, going in very aggressively here. Stewart decides to back off. I think because Theodosios has realized that, oh, he has Panzer Tactician, well, he must have access now to the Puma. So very smart play there by Theodosios, reading what his opponent has. And yeah, Devm lost the territory. He has nothing left.
I mean, that is really a good turnaround right there. Just a little bit of an overextension by Devm, and it's been absolutely punished by Theodosios. I mean, this is a really good play. Stewart is repaired. We're now seeing Devm trying to fight back just for strategic territory, just to connect himself again. And this is going to allow Theodosios just to very comfortably cap parts of the map, make it difficult for Devm to recapture it. And then maybe focus on trying to get a vehicle out that's going to really put things in his favor.
Has the fuel connected, or at least he's just about to. He has a pack as well. Still hasn't gone for the Shreks. Devm having a float of munitions, so he has to decide. Does he go for Shreks? Does he go for LMGs? He shouldn't be floating up this much munitions. He calls in the Puma, so in that case, probably not wise to go for the Shreks as well. We want to have the LMG Grens instead. Sniper looking for a wipe perhaps. If he gets one shot off and then use the Incendiary, it could be a wipe on the Echelon. Bit of an RNG gamble if he hits it. Even then, the second round probably wouldn't be within range for the Incendiary.
Fortunately, doesn't manage to get it.
So the 2-2... 2-2 at the south is actually within the vision of the VP. I thought it was a bait for the Puma, but the Puma isn't there. If you leave a vehicle in the inner circle, that sounds like I'm talking about the Illuminati, but I'm talking about the radius there of the VP. If you leave it inside the inner radius of the VP, your opponent will see it. And then Theodosios saw that. He went for it. Ah, the 2-2 is by himself. I'll go for the kill. And I thought there was a Puma there for a bait, but no, there wasn't. And now it looks like we have
some kind of bait, because the Puma comes around the back as the infantry go for it. Doesn't actually manage to connect any shots though. Puma has actually been wildly inaccurate today, I would say. Scout car dangerously close to getting an AT stand. This could be very, very dangerous, as there is a captain with 2 bazookas on the prowl.
2 bazookas.
Devm again, look at this, reclaiming all of that territory that was just taken by Theodosios, and the game is just going backwards and forwards. Scout car goes down. It's a light vehicle game in the advantage of Theodosios. Again, the Puma tries to go in on the Stewart, but of course AT snares and the double Shreks. This could be very, very bad for Devm, and another turn for Theodosios.
It was a stun from the Stewart, and now that's going to be a dead Puma. Oh, Devm, he had great map control. He didn't need to kill the Stewart. That being said, though, he's running out of squads. He's got 2 Grens, P-Grens. He has the Sniper, which is quite vetted, but now we have bars on the Rifleman. Oh, the pack will get decrewed as well. He can steal this one here. He does have access to the off-map smoke barrage, but he's out of munitions, so he can't steal that one. Puma's been rebuilt, going after the Stewart here. Once again, the close quarters combat generally favors the Stewart because of the stun, which is not on cooldown, but he doesn't have the munis again, so he can't use that. And the pack's going to get recrewed here by the Grens. Panzer Grenadiers behind the Stewart could be a wipe, especially because it's Vet 2 now.
Such dangerous play from Devm. I mean, really, he's trying to put too much pressure on, I think, at this stage. There was absolutely no need for it. He had map control. Could have very safely just kept up the map control until he had something bigger. And you know, when he actually has those big units, his micro will definitely carry him through those engagements. But at the moment, he's just being kept so on the back foot in terms of teching by these silly overextensions that happened too early on. And credit where credit's due, Theodosios dealing with it absolutely brilliantly.
Despite this one well, has his mortar out, doing a fair bit of damage here, already at Vet 2. Going for a second mortar now as well. So, Devm's caught in this mobile defense trap where he can't tech up, but he also needs Pumas. And it's better than trying to tech and then not having any tanks at all. But he's going to be stuck in the spot where he can't really call in any better tanks than that, having not teched. As the Theodosios has a fair bit of options here. He's actually not that far off his Pershing, so we probably will just see him just not tech up and just wait for his Pershing. It's been a pretty aggressive game, so it means there's already 7 command points. Sniper's taking a bit of damage as well from the Rifleman. He's going to retreat through them.
Yeah, where's the rest of that squad? It's just a 3-man squad running around, and I don't know where the rest of it is.
Going to be a nade from the Rifleman. Stewart at the south here. Once again, the Pigrins are going to be exposed. There was a squad wipe there? Oh, that was the echelon that went down for Theodosios. It's been a bit of manpower bleed on these Pigrins.
Really, really good push up through the center. Mortar's trying to get these pioneers out of the house there. Maybe it can be recruited by the USF. Captain's trying to pull in. The Stuarts coming in for support now as well. They're going to try take out all the medium cover in the fencing and hopefully deal with the pioneers in the house there. It's also pushing off the strategic point. Gets thrown away by a rifle nade.
Only one squad has the LMGs, despite the munitions float here for Devm. Putting another sniper is Devm, so that's interesting. We'll allow him to decrew those mortars very quickly.
Yeah, this is one of the things I was telling you earlier about Devm. Like you can just guarantee he's going to be building this one group of things. I think this is like his optimum build as well as having the 2 snipers there, because his micro is so good with them. Usually you only see it when one dies and he's replacing it, but. I like that, you know, it's gone triple caps constantly. I don't think there's been like an even set in this game so far. It's always been triple cap Devm, triple cap Theodosios, sorry. And Theodosios has gone in Pershing Commander 2. I think he'd done that a long time ago, actually, to be fair, but just to point out that he has gone for the Pershing. And I'm interested to see how that's going to get used here. I think we were speaking earlier saying that the Calliope is a really nice choice on here. Having the M19s for free and everything else. I'm quite interested to see these snipers come in. 26 kills now, so it's not 2 kills per minute as we were hoping to see based on the start of the game. But it is still a lot of kills, and 2 of those working like that is going to be very, very problematic for Theodosios. We're going to be saving up for Pershing.
So we have the Shreks here for the Pigrins, and 2 Shreks, a pack, and 2 Pumas. It's a pretty effective mix, even against the Pershing, but most likely we'll see that Command Panzer IV. Definitely worth getting for the buff on the snipers, on the pack, on the Pigrins. So it'll most likely just be the call-in mobile defense Pumas and the Panzer IV against the Pershing, which is very flimsy, but it can work. Once again, the Pigrins are caught out of position by the Stuart. But overall, I think Devm's recovered pretty well. At least for now. But Theodosios didn't go for a Sherman, so that's why it looks like he's doing okay, because Theodosios hasn't been spending his fuel. But once he gets the Pershing, that's when things will go ugly for Devm.
Yeah, I think he's still got a lot on the field to be able to deal with the current situation. Added a Pershing to that's going to be pretty gruesome. Mortars need to get to work on these snipers. I've seen a couple of test shots fired, but really the snipers Doing insane work at this point. Great 18 aid there from the rifleman. This looks like it's going to be another Puma down for Devm.
Yeah, Pack couldn't quite save him. The max range stun round on that Stewart, man, it's a crazy follow-up. They get the stun, get the nade off. A very small margin of error for the light vehicles here of the Wehrmacht.
It's such a shame because the kind of manpower drain that those two snipers should provide is just being counteracted by what Devm is losing.
Yeah.
It just creates an even game again because, you know, he's pretty much losing out exactly what he's putting into his opponent. So it is a massive shame on that front. Instead of going for the Puma, he's now actually going to go for the Command Panzer IV. So, don't know how that's going to fare up against the Pershing when it comes in.
Just for the buff, it'll buff his Shreks, it'll buff his Packs. Especially against the Pershing, which can wipe the squad so easily. You really want to have the extra health buff, so then you can at least survive. Less chance to get gibbed by the AoE of the Pershing. And yeah, I don't know what Devm's going to do here. He's probably going to just keep spamming Pumas because it'll take him too long to tech, I think. It's still going to be, what, 45 fuel, about 60. It'll be about 200 fuel for a Stug. So, you know, you get one Stug or you get 3 Pumas. It's a pretty clear choice that if you don't tech up early because you can't, you get stuck in this call in reliance. But once again, somehow Devm has the map. That's one of Devm's magic tricks is lose a lot of units and yet somehow still retain map control.
Yeah, he's definitely doing something right in these engagements. I think it's the way that he picks his moments. I think he manages to get a lot of retreats off Theodosios and knows that he is really comfortably able to go and take the map with no real problems. And it's also the placing of the units that he's moving around. Like, you'll notice the Panzer Grenadiers have always been kind of going south, really looking for those positions where the Stuart is constantly focused. So, you know, he has been using the right units in the right places, and I think that's done a lot of work for him so far.
Grenadiers charging up to the bar riflemen. That's not going to end well at all. What are they doing? The Steward as well. Whoa! Devm cannot afford to lose squads here. He could have maybe driven forward for the smoke. Oh, the squad stays alive, and that's only because of that Panzer IV buff, giving the extra health. Pigrin's now doing the same, running up to the bar rifleman. Nade does connect, though. There's going to be a captain moving up for the double bazookas. Stewart's going to be near. I think it's a bundle grenade from the Pigrins. It was dodged, though, by the captain. They're behind the heavy cover of the tank trap now. That tank trap has actually done a lot of protection there. It absorbed one of the shots from the Panzer IV earlier. It's giving the heavy cover. I love seeing US players use that. They do the tank trap and then wire the front. So they have, it's sort of like a crude sandbag.
Yeah, it's a really nice thing to see, actually. Only ones with those is like because they are kind of like 360-degree beneficial in the same way with their shape. You know, taking the wire away does provide little green benefits for everybody.
So you have the Pershings on the field now. A lot of fuel as well for Theodosios. He can just go for Major if he wants to. Even go double Stewart. Sometimes you have enough fuel left over, but not enough fuel to go for a Major, so you go double Stewart before the Pershing. But in this case, Theodosios, he got it out in a pretty good time here. Pershing chasing down the Pigrans. They're quite clumped up now. It's the problem with using Shreks is they're just so vulnerable to the high AoE of those allied tanks. And yeah, a triple cap is on. Devm is actually ahead in VPs.
Very unusual thing to see, consider how everything has gone from in this game so far. Clearly as well, they're getting some benefits from the Command Panzer IV, so these units performing very well. Nice shot from the Command Panzer IV there. Wipes the USF mortar. It looks like Theodosios is going to try and recrew it with the echelons, trying to get away with that. Pershing comes in to lend a hand. Will he get the follow-up kill? No, he doesn't.
So there's 2 echelon here for Theodosios, which is nice because you need them for the repairs. So you want to make sure you have enough pop cap to get the echelon as well. So I wonder what Theodosios actually goes for here, because there's a lot of there's two packs. There's a lot of infantry as well, so doesn't need any more anti-tank. Maybe it's worth just getting an M4 Sherman just to try and flank the packs and wipe them very quickly. This pack's in a bad spot though because it can't back away. The hedge is blocking it, so I think it's far too vulnerable. I guess he has the MG for support there, but it's actually in negative cover, so it could get decrewed very quickly.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one, but I guess it protects such a large area. He clearly knows roughly where the Pershing sits as well. Could be a great play here. If the Pershing decides to poke its head out, it really will be in a bad spot, but the AT gun has moved its position now.
Ooh.
There we go. There's that shot from the Pershing. No snare available whatsoever. AT gun's getting lined up for a shot.
Pigrins are very important here. Oh, the rifleman flanking the packs, but now he's going to have to retreat through the MG and the P4. Nice shots come through. Could be a dead Vet 3 rifle squad. Does lose it. Drops a bar on the ground as well. The Pyros can capture that one. Echelon looking for it though. Pyro's going to be repairing the P4, not denying it. The MG does suppress the Echelon, preventing them going for it. The Stuart flanks as well. The Pigrins get a couple of shots off here, and the P4 hasn't rotated just yet. Whereas the Pershing, it's very out of position here.
I think because of the health, it's decided to get out of that engagement.
Oh,
the
yeah.
AT gun did a really good job at pushing that away. This is a very strong push from Devm, though, even with everything with the Stuart there. Unfortunately, the Pershing just wasn't able to back it up. If the Pershing had maybe gone into that engagement a little bit late, it probably would have had the firepower to have attacked that from the front. But unfortunately, Devm's just looking very, very strong, parked up here in the center right now.
Even better, Devm gets a bar on his Gren squads rather than kind of wasting it on the Pyos.
I mean, the two snipers here have been absolutely incredible now.
Stuart at the south.
Really doing.
It's a Vet 3 Stuart as well here. He's going in for the stun though. He actually may kill it. Pops the smoke there. Still stunned, so apparently you can smoke while stunned. Attack ground from not from the Puma, but only from the Stuart. Does kill that one though. So man, there goes that Vet 3 Stuart. Having the Stuart crew is really handy for having the crit repair on the Pershing. But yeah, man, Devm now looking incredibly strong. There's only 2 vetted riflemen left, and now we've got Vet 3 Pigrins with Shreks. We got Vet 3 Grens, one of which having the bar as well. So all of a sudden, Devm looking incredibly strong in this game. Has a bit of a fuel float, but not enough to go for a major unit, the Sherman or such, and doesn't have much manpower either. And behind in VPs is Theodosios.
Triple cap again is not going to help as well. Triple cap, of course, means 1 VP drained every second. Things go very, very downhill for there. Be a less than a 4-minute game if you can keep the triple cap up. Pershing's fully repaired now, and it is going to target the Command Panzer IV. Puma's trying to come around. AT gun setting up a position. It does have mark target. Does he decide to use it though? Mark target has not. Sorry, target weak point rather has not been flicked on. The Puma may get the killing blow here though.
So does the Puma, also has target weak point. Gets hit by 2 bazookas. You will smoke disengage. You're looking for the last shot. And the Puma fires through the smoke. A long repair time as well. Even with 2 Echelon, getting that Pershing down to that low, it'll give Devm even more map presence. Looking for the Shreks. If he gets in the house with the 2 Shreks, that'll be a dead Pershing for sure. Gonna be flanking actually. Pershing has the rear armor exposed to the Shreks. He fires them off, goes in the house. He has to reload the Shreks for now, but it could be a wipe. Probably will be okay though.
Reverses into the trees though. Hasn't quite got away. This could die to a Faust from the Grenadiers. He goes for the Faust. Is it going to be?
Yeah, it's going to kill it. It's going to kill it. That's going to be a dead Pershing. No, it survives. Oh. And that house getting very low.
Only.
Okay, the Puma can dive this one. Devm can call in another Puma and then just suicide this one. But that being said, it's being repaired pretty quickly. Devm goes for his Ostrippen. Oh, I was so confident it would kill it, and yet it didn't. But it's almost Vet 2 now. It's one thing to bear in mind. The Pershing does vet up pretty quickly relative to other heavy tanks, and its bonuses are so powerful. At Vet 2, it's extra rate of fire. Oh, is it? No, it's not.
Is it? You've got Vet 1
mobility and
acceleration.
grenades. Okay, maybe they changed it, but Vet 3 certainly is rate of fire. It does fire very quickly.
Yeah. Vet 3 is the beast mode.
the PPSH Pershing, as I'm sure Blake would describe it as. There's
Wow.
actually a pack decrewed here on that road.
Sniper's still just eating away at Theodosios' forces. Pershing's back in the fight.
In front of two
2
packs,
AT
though.
guns.
None of which have the veterancy, so they're both wiped by the looks of it. And building a Stuart. Not a bad choice. It doesn't have the wipe potential that a Sherman does against the infantry, especially against the packs. I wonder if Devm will tech up now. Yeah, he has. Look, he's got Battle Phase 3, so he's going to be able to get a Panther out if he wants to. Have a nice strong front line against the Pershing.
You know what, I really, really like seeing that, because mobile defense is usually just one of those callous commanders that just constantly sticks to its call, and after a great shot from the Pershing there, gains its veterancy too. There goes the grenade as well. Throws the grenade out of the hatch. It's so beautiful when you see that happen from the Pershing, honestly. It's so cheeky as well, you know, whilst they're driving. It's so accurate. How would you do that from the inside of a tank?
I've seen it get stuns before. The crew stunned. It's pretty crazy. Okay, Pershing's going to be pressuring up against the pack. It's duking out on the spot. Second shot maybe doesn't have vision, I think, does Devm's pack. Meanwhile, at the bottom, we're going to have Stuart against this Command P4, almost Vet 2 now. Peagrins are following up with their Shreks.
Shouldn't be anything the Panzer Grenadiers can't deal with. Nice to get veterancy 2 on the Command Panzer 4 though. That's going to be pretty beneficial to him. If not already, his units were looking pretty strong. Theodosios is trying desperately not to get triple capped. Really has to focus on the VPs now, but this is usually where a lot of players become undone, is when they have to focus on the VPs. They have absolutely no choice, of course, if they're to stay alive in the game, but it really can pull him off of some of the strategies he wants to use to try and overcome Devm.
Building the tier 4 is Devm. Should be able to afford the Panther in terms of pop cap, but he hasn't reinforced his squads. So once he reinforces, he might run out. So I'm not sure if these Ostrupen were the best choice. Because the thing is with Ostrupen, they're not that pop cap efficient, but I suppose he wants them more just for capping and Fausting. Having a durable squad that won't get one-shot by the Pershing. Whereas building Grens is late into the game, they can die very quickly, very easily.
Yeah, of course, and you know the other one is just when you're recrewing, it's the kind of manpower you're losing is very, very minimal. Reinforcements so cheap as well, so fast. They get good mobilization off those Ostrupen.
Double Vet 3 mortar for the US. Making these packs a little bit difficult to use. I haven't seen any wipes though from the mortars. I don't think they've actually got any squad wipes. Just a lot of damaging models and picking off models.
Well, one of the Vet 3 mortars only has 2 kills.
Yeah, wow.
So clearly it's been doing a lot of kind of passive damage, but no actual real work done from that. It hasn't really paid for itself in that respect.
Just spamming
Hopefully
Stuarts
with
now.
Vet 3 it will be able to.
I suppose with only 75 VPs left, Theodosios doesn't want to take the time to tech up and go for a Sherman, which would obviously be better in the long run, but right now he wants to stop the momentum. He currently has a triple cap in his favour though.
How really did Theodosios get a triple cap here?
I don't know. This entire game has just been, wait, how does this person have a triple cap? And then 5 minutes later it's the reverse. Peagrin's in the middle, gotta be careful about those mortars. Well, the Stuart's going very aggressive against the packs, but there's 2 of them in position, and the Shreks as well. Panzer IV not quite where it needs to be.
Will the Pershing follow up with this though? Stuarts really need to work on taking the AT gun. Puma's coming around for a final kill. One of the Stuarts goes down. Puma pops smoke. Command Panzer IV is trying to rip through as well. Now we have the Pershing in to provide support. Will the AT guns manage to get some kind of stunning shot off it? Pershing nearly manages to wipe the Puma.
P4 has
Devm
arrived.
needs to keep this alive.
Rear armor on the Stewart can kill that one very quickly. Pershing's getting repaired by the Echelon while firing at the pack. No Panther just yet for Devm, so he will lose both of these packs here. The Stewart was abandoned. There goes the Puma to the Rifleman grenade. That's a pretty big blow though, losing all of his AT. The Shreks did survive at least, so he still has that. But now the Pershing has a pretty good free reign here. The Stewart's actually working out very well for Theodosios.
Yeah, that was quite a nice push actually. The light vehicles did a really, really good job there of getting around everything. And they kind of ignore the whole foul situation because they fire so fast and they're able to just deal with that kind of situation and allow the Pershing to just pot shot from the back. So it was a very good synergetic use of that. Nice! Look at that shot from the Pershing. Wipes the Grenadier squad. Things going downhill very, very quickly. Fast for Devm right now. Oh, but equally, Theodosios just loses Rifleman on the top. Both players are trading so much right now.
This is getting bloody. The Stewart got hit by a Faust here. Panzer IV moving in. 21 kills so far. The Stewart will go down as well. Can the Pershing move in? It's trying to. It can crush the hedges, so the Panzer IV has to be a little bit careful here. But this will be a dead Stewart. Has a captain there for a couple of Zooks, so this P4 is in a bit of trouble. Can use the smoke, and only just now building the Panther. The packs in the middle haven't been recrewed just yet. Ostrupen go down to the Echelon, so it wipes left, right, and centre. At the south, those Ostrupen might get wiped as well by this Pershing.
This really has turned into a crazy, desperate game right now. Devm really should be more careful as he does have the VP lead. Grenadiers get crazy low on health, trying to retreat, bounce a little bit off the Echelons. Will he get that final shot? Doesn't, and Devm is so lucky with those Grenadiers, man. In every single game, I've seen the same thing. I've seen the same Grenadiers run away with minimal health, and I don't know how he does it.
In the middle, though, the mortars could get a wipe on the P-Grens. Look at the munitions here for Devm. He should be using the counter-attack, but loses the P-Grens. That's a big deal, because they're the core of this anti-tank, which should get replaced by the Panther now. But look at Devm's squads. He's got a Gren, a Pio, and an MG. That's his entire infantry mix. He lost his Ostrupen at the south to the Pershing. He lost his P-Grens here. Devm has lost all his squads now, and he still has plenty of VPs left, so maybe a little bit too short-sighted here in his infantry preservation.
I mean, I would really like to see either some more bazookas or an AT gun or something. I don't think he's going to manage just by snaring the Panther and then doing that. And as we see, Devm's Panther actually coming on quite a long detour here to try and get some rear armor shots on the Pershing. This is going to be a really good engagement to watch, actually.
Once this Pershing gets Vet 3, it won't be a fair fight. The fully automatic Pershing rate of fire is going to be pretty powerful against this Panther, which doesn't quite fire very quickly. It's not known for its high rate of fire. It has a pretty slow fire on the move accuracy. It's 0.5, which is quite embarrassing as far as tank destroyers go.
I mean, it's nearly there as well, nearly achieved its final veterancy. Really, really like the use of the Stuarts, by the way. There's such a good benefit. It's like using the T-70s for Soviets, but you can just hop out the vehicle and just cap the VP, which I just really, really love. You know, just being able to do that and being so flexible.
Ooh, the captain almost going down here. The VP's not ticking over for either of our players. Vehicle crew at the south could be capturing that one. And the Puma's being called into the fight. You can take out the Stewart. He's going to have to go back in and pop the stun rounds. He pops the smoke preemptively. Because he burnt the stun rounds, I think. He's going back in, though. He will lose the Stewart here. Saves the crew, at least. He gets the cap on the South VP, but that's a nice little win there for Devm.
Oh, looks like we could see a austere AT gun steal. That is a very, very good pickup for Theodosios right now. He's going to be relying on that penetration from that AT gun to get through the front armor of the Panther. Very, very, I'd say it's a pretty bad loss. And again, it's one of these things, you know, I just don't know why these AT guns haven't been recrewed. We saw it earlier with Cruzy, where he actually blew up his own AT guns thinking he wouldn't need it. You know, Now he does need it.
Pershing on the way here at South. Panther's a long way to get vetted. Takes a long time, especially if he's missing, especially if he's not penetrating this Panther very effectively. And the captain's forcing away the Panther with help of the Pershing. So this... Yeah, I just wish Panthers were better. The Wehrmacht Panther, at least. Considerably worse than the OKW Panther.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really enjoying actually because the Panther is usually a good one-on-one combatant against the Pershing, but I think what's really nice is people are getting to see the real, true power of the Pershing when it does actually reach veterancy. And of course, veterancy in this game is something that means a hell of a lot. The benefits you get with veterancy can be quite huge sometimes. You know, it can really change how a unit is, and this Pershing is going to be very, very strong in a second.
I just want to see
I mean,
Devm...
bear in mind, it doesn't have its advanced rate of fire and accuracy yet, and it's already accurately squad wiping.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's going to be really, really crazy from here on. I think Devm is trying not to let that happen.
I just hope Devm doesn't rush this out. He still has a lot of VPs left to his name. He needs to try and max out his pop cap, get a nice engagement where he takes out the Pershing, and then eventually get the VPs down. Doesn't have to rush this. A lot of players in this situation panic, try and go for these closeouts with the VPs. Pershing going in very aggressively though. The Puma with a flank here. I think he fired a Faust, but it wasn't actually a damaged engine just yet. Taking a fair bit of damage down on the Pershing, and man, it's firing so fast at Vet 3 now. Panther has arrived in the middle of the map. North VP is in the hands of Devm with an MG locking that one down. Bottom and the middle are in the hands of Theodosios. Has two Ostrooper in here and are fighting positions being built by Theodosios. What a mad dog here. Going to have that suppression in the middle. Maybe even the grenades from the rear echelon when they're inside of that.
I think the fighting position is actually a really, really great utilization of the resources that he has at the moment. You know, with the help of the Pershing, he's going to be able to hold that VP really, really hard now against Devm. And look at the captain, look how much work that's done against the Panther. Constantly moving up with the bazookas, dealing so much, and it's letting the Pershing go right in to deal with the Puma. Take a look at the rate of fire here. Just the accuracy and everything,
Ooh.
Absolutely beautiful.
Chasing it down, he uses the smoke for now. All these tanks are low for the Axis. The Pershing, he's pretty much at full health right now. Panther will have the buff of the Panzer IV. Actually, two pens come through. So maybe that Pershing has to back away. Doesn't quite have the munitions for the Hevap round to finish off one of those tanks. Oh, there go the Pyos. Oh dear, this Pershing is just so strong at Vet 3.
It is, but also, you know, the Panther, and bear in mind that Devm has 200 VPs left at the moment to play with. Panther does gain veterancy 1, and I think the Panther is one of those units that equally does benefit from a little bit of veterancy as well. So hopefully constantly engaging the Pershing, if it does it in the correct way, if it does manage to survive, it's got the Command Panzer IV as well on its back, then, you know, maybe he'll find a way around this.
That's true. The Vet 2 Panther's pretty ridiculous. The armor that it gets with the bonus. It already has a lot of armor, and then when you get the armored skirts to benefit that, I think it's 40% extra armor, which is crazy. So even the Pershing might have trouble penning that reliably. The Pershing's penetration isn't amazing. It's more about the rate of fire and the AoE that makes it so powerful. But look at this. Devm's splitting up, and he's actually going to get all three VPs, but maybe not the middle one because of the echelon and the fighting position, but the south one at least will be neutralized. If he neutralizes both,
I've got to say, I'm absolutely fed up of this cutscene of the Stuart coming onto the map. It must have done the same camera trick like 7 times for this unit.
But every time a VP is capped, it's always rolling a d20. Will the Pershing just one-shot my Gren squad? It's just so much RNG, or whether or not the 4-man squads get insta-gibbed by the Pershing. So all of the... Oh, no, never mind. Only the P4. The only one squad of Pioneers. It's taking a long time to repair these tanks. Losing that second squad of Pyros was a really big blow to Devm. Going to be slowing down his repairs. Actually, he's going for a second Panther, though. And that's great. 2 Panthers with the Command P4 buff should be able to zone away that Pershing pretty effectively.
I think that's been cancelled, isn't it?
Well, he can't afford it yet.
No.
He'll be able to afford it now.
There we go, yeah, he is. Oh, what an interesting finals game.
Yeah,
It's
this is
been.
great. This is probably the
45 minutes as well already, and the game is far from over. I mean, Theodosios could probably go on from here, and it's going to take the game to the late hours of the night.
yeah. Late hours
Or
of
the
the night,
early
he
hours
says.
of the morning for
I see
you.
the sun. The sun's up now. Good morning, everyone. Rise and shine. But yeah, this game has been fantastic, and normally the grand finals, for whatever reason, the grand finals just don't seem to be that interesting, but this has been a fantastic series. Very, very tooth and nail, and... Tooth and neck? Tooth and neck. Yeah, I have a habit of saying these sayings just wrong. I've done it a few times now. Tooth and nail. And it's going to be trying to get the South VP here for Devm. Can't cap the points with his tanks alone, though, but he's sending a squad of Ostrup there. Has called that squad in again. So he's got 2 Panthers, and he still has a fair bit of VPs here, so he's not in a desperate rush that Theodosios is. This is where it gets tricky.
If he plays a sensible game, he's a very, very good chance. I actually think this constant building of Stuarts is really going to play against him.
Sorry, never mind. Yeah, this is where you have to really think about. Do I go for top and bottom? Do I go for blob middle? But well, Pershing going in for this Panzer IV. Pop Smoke to disengage. There's 1 Panther down here. The second Panther's on his way, but maybe a little bit too late to this fight here. Stuart going in, looking for the stun rounds, I think. No, doesn't have the munitions for it. Combined arms is used. Great play by Theodosios, having that buff. The Stuarts flank the Panther, but it will go down for now. The Panther's behind the Pershing.
There is so much going on right now. Another Stuart's coming in. This time, is he going to try and pop the stun? Gets a sight blocker on. The Pershing's just trying to get to safety. Stuart may finish off with some rear armor shots here. 80 gun hasn't quite turned correctly. Pershing's going to have to engage this Panther from the front, and Devm's going to be praying for some kind of penetration shots here. There we go. One of the Panthers goes down. Second one dangerously close, and I think that Theodosios is going to be comfortable to deal with this one here.
Oh, he bounced, but so does the Panther, going for the circle now. He's on the road, but no, the Pershing's ready to fire. It's just too much, and there are 2 dead Panthers on the battlefield now. The P4's crawling away with its damaged engine, well, it's trying to at least. Stuart could even finish this one off. Oh, there it goes.
All those dropped weapons from Theodosios.
There's a pack on the ground, there's craters everywhere. That was carnage, but it's carnage in the favor of Theodosios. But is it? Because it's going to be ticking the VPs down. Not for long, though, I think. Let's see if the Ostrup can get wiped. And a Puma's being called in. Going after the Vet 3 Pershing probably wouldn't be very smart for the Puma, but the VPs have now been neutralized. It's stabled. No one's ticking the VPs down.
That shot from the Puma penetrated. This could be, if he goes round for it.
Just needs 1 more, I think. He's going for the Stuart, which for some reason, I don't know where he's firing at. He gets the Stuart. Can he get the Pershing here? A risky play. No, the Pershing gets the kill on the Puma. And there's no fuel left for Devm. He can't call in another Puma.
Wow, I mean, that really was tense. There was a definite all or nothing there. I wonder if these Ostrup are going to make use of some of these dropped weapons whilst they go into this engagement. He doesn't. I think he should have picked up some of those weapons to go into this engagement.
Maybe he
instead,
couldn't choose. Do I want bars? Do I want LMGs? Getting stressed out by so much opportunity. Ostrup are not used to having that much choices, and this fighting position is really paying off here. If it wasn't for that fighting position, the Grins would have neutralized that middle VP. Devm still hasn't used the counter-attack tactics that may have made a difference in some of these VP capping situations. He does get an LMG now on his Ostrup, and I think a bar as well by the looks of it. And a pack's been built.
This has got to be GG here. I mean, there really is nothing that Devm has. It looks like he's going to hold it. What a crazy game this has been. I really don't expect Devm to do anything at this point. A second fighting position is now coming in for Theodosios.
Nice.
It's going to allow him to control multiple VPs for the remainder of this game. He should really push for the final VP as well on the third side, just to close the deal quickly. There's nothing really defending it either. MG's moved away. Looks like he's going to try and go for the mid, but as soon as that MG walks away from the VP, here comes Theodosios, our champion of the day, coming back from pure hell in this game.
Yeah, Devm did so well, I think, at having a really rough early game and mid game, but he actually turned that around very effectively. But ultimately, the Pershing just got too much veterancy, and the Panther was very late because of how much Devm spent on Pumas, which they were essential, but he did lose a bit too many of them, mainly due to the Stuart stun rounds. So I think most players, pretty much all players, would have crumbled in that situation. They would have gone, no, I've lost too much. They would have got on tilt. They would have struggled to get the map back, but somehow Devm kept getting the map. He kept getting the VPs. He pulled out enough of an army to withstand Theodosios' assaults, but eventually it all came down to the Pershing. He's got 42 kills, Vet 3. It's such a strong unit to have. Wipes infantry, it wipes tanks, it does everything.
It really is a good demonstration of how important unit preservation is in this game, because veterancy is king. It absolutely changes engagements from what you're typically used to. I mean, look at that thing go. You know, if you've earned it, this is what you get.
I'm just glad Theodosios was actually using combined arms, because no one uses this ability. It's so often neglected by players. They'll float up hundreds of munitions, they just won't use it. But Theodosios actually used it multiple times. During that big fight he did, it gives a bonus to both tanks and infantry. Right now he used it. And yeah, why not? It's just a buff, and he has that much munitions. There's no reason not to use it anymore. It used to actually be a nerf to the Pershing's rate of fire when it vetted up because of the way that it worked. But they fixed it, which is why there was that huge bug, which was awful. But that's been fixed now, so it will buff the Pershing regardless.
The first time in a long time we do see Theodosios climb into the lead on VPs. 20 VPs remaining for Devm right now. It has been a gruesome game, and also a pretty gruesome day, really. Some of the games we've seen have just been absolutely fantastic. First couple, not so great. But, you know, once we started getting into those quarterfinals, wow, some of the games today have been absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, it's been a great day. It really has. Been some fantastic matchups, some great tense games. We've had a few of them which have been an absolute pleasure to cast. I think with a little bit surprising too, because with how many players didn't enter because they already qualified. You know, you think it's the best of the players that aren't entering, but no, we've had some insanely strong competitors today, giving us a brilliant show of their prowess. Devm being one of them, Theodosios being the other. The two finalists here, definitely looking strong contenders for the tournament, as we will jump into it next week and get underway with the real deal.
Yep, I'm definitely looking forward to that. I do think, whilst we get on the topic of... Oops, I think I maybe... Nope, it's okay. Yeah, I mean, on the topic of like Devm, I don't understand this. I didn't really feel like there was a need for mobile defense there. I know he plays with it a lot out of habit, but I don't know. I think this whole mobile defense thing, it's always really grinded me, because it's so... I don't want to say gimmicky, but it just seems so random and unthoughtful. You know, having the kind of ability to tech and get like a Panzer IV, the games seem so much more stable. The Pumas, I mean, I don't think we saw it win today, did we?